entrepreneur and Shark Tank star Mark Cuban has been working hard to help Vice President Harris close the deal and defeat you-know-who. And he joins us now. Please welcome back to the table the amazing, the fabulous Mark Cuban. And Sarah has the first question.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for being with us today. The election is less than a week away. You've been campaigning with the vice president. Where does this race stand, and who do you think is going to win?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Sarah? You dropped out.
Sure. The election's only a week away, so I know you've been campaigning with the vice president. We wanted to know where you think the state of the race is. Who do you think is going to win right now?
Oh, I think the vice president's going to win, obviously. I think, you know, things have changed a lot since 2016.
I didn't hear what he said.
You know, in 2016,
You heard the
in
important part.
2016, the 2016, the Trump voter was the silent voter, somewhat in the 2020 election. But now, I think it's really switched. I think Elon taking over Twitter has emboldened Trump voters to get loud, to denigrate Harris voters, and that has really caused people to be quiet. And then you hear him say things like he did last night about women. I really think women are going to win this election for the vice president. I think they'll come out in numbers. I think they'll, not listen to their husbands. I think they're going to do the right thing and vote for the vice president.
Okay, so talking about 2016, in 2016, you supported Trump for a little bit. Sorry about that. But then you saw the error of your ways, and he is not happy with you now. He's calling you a loser. You're weak. You're pathetic. He says that once he stopped taking your calls, you went rogue. Is that really how it went down? Something tells me no. Your thoughts?
No. I mean, like, when he was president, I actually, he asked for help on PPE during the pandemic. I helped out all I could. He invited me to lunch, bring my kids, bring the family. Yeah. It didn't work out.
Who would
but,
bring their
but
children
the
near
funniest part.
Sorry.
Who was what?
It's good. Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, Mark, let me ask you, because I know you were a Nikki Haley supporter like I was in the primary, but now you're supporting Kamala Harris. And turns out Donald Trump is not even asking Nikki Haley for her help to try to reach her voters. What do you make of that? And do you think having people like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and other Republicans with Kamala Harris is going to put her over the edge with these Nikki Haley supporters?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it'll put her over the edge with Nikki Haley supporters. Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And, Nikki Haley will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights and how he sees and treats and talks about women. I mean, he just can't have her around. It wouldn't work.
I think Stormy is intelligent. I don't think that's 100%. She's very smart.
Yeah,
Stormy.
He means is like...
But he means on stage and stuff
power
with
over.
her.
Well, let me ask you this, Mark. President Biden is getting some backlash for comments he made on a Zoom call with Latino voters where he allegedly referred to Trump supporters as garbage. Now, President Biden has clarified his comments, but Republicans and Trump are trying to make this into a deplorables moment. At the same time, you have Trump now repeatedly calling America garbage and a garbage can. What is your reaction to this entire thing?
I mean, Joe is known for malapropisms, right? What they used to call malaprop Joe. He's done it many times, but the reality is, the hardcore Trump supporters are the hardcore Trump supporters. There's nobody changing hearts and minds because of what Joe Biden said. He is not running for president versus Donald Trump. Vice President Harris is the candidate. That's all that matters is what she says. I think it doesn't matter at all. Whether Joe misspoke or not, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, Mark, because you're the expert on the economy. People say that they are voting for Trump because they think he's a successful businessman. They think what they saw on the TV show The Apprentice is real life. They forget that he bankrupted his casino. Who does that? And he doesn't know how a tariff works. Can you please, and I'm showing this again, the headline on the Wall Street Journal, a conservative paper, U.S. economy extends growth streak. Can you please set the record straight and talk about why Trump will not be good for the economy and why we should not be fooled by him, please?
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the number of people in this country. There's 335 million people in this country. Less than 4 million people make $400,000 or more. For everybody else, the other 330 million people, Kamala Harris has been very, very specific that your tax rate will stay the same, and for 100 million people, your tax rate will go down. So for just about every single human in this country, she's better from a tax perspective. Number two, Donald Trump says, you guys talked about, has a concept of a plan for healthcare. Well, what's the most terrifying expense that every family faces? You go to the doctor. Medical. You go to the doctor, you don't know what they're going to say, and if you need a prescription, you need healthcare, whatever it is, you're terrified about the cost. You may have a high, you have a high deductible plan or no insurance. Kamala Harris has been very, very specific. She has said the words, I am going after the pharmacy middlemen. Yes. I am going to introduce transparency. I know from my experiences, that's going to cut the direct cost of medications for any family that needs them by 20 or 30% or more. And if she can get any help from Congress at all, the same concept will apply to the rest of healthcare. So while people can talk about inflation over the last 4 years, what they can't say is that the cost of Gatorade is more important than the cost of healthcare. And Kamala Harris is the only candidate that has a specific plan that will cut your cost of medications and then healthcare. Donald Trump has a concept. And then let's talk about tariffs. I mean, let's, God help us, let's pretend that Donald Trump won the election and it's this time next year and we're having to think about Christmas presents for our friends and families and our kids. People don't realize that most of the presents, the sporting goods equipment, the books, the dresses, the shoes, the knickknacks, they're made in China, imported. Donald Trump says he wants to add a 60% tariff to all of those things. So now all of a sudden those prices go up. So you're having a conversation with your spouse saying, okay, where do we cut back? Because all those toys, all those presents we wanted to buy the kids are now more expensive. Donald Trump is the Grinch that's trying to steal your Christmas, but it gets worse, right? Because most people...
Mark, can you come next week too?
Exactly.
You laid it out. It's so succinct and it's so clear. Nobody feels like they don't get what you're talking about. This is one of the reasons we do love you. So our thanks to Mark Cuban.